Developing news at noon, the search for two Boone County murder suspects continues this afternoon. The Boone County Sheriff's Office is asking for help finding Jason Lee Stockstill and Heather Dawn Scallion, who you can see on your screen here. The two people who police say should be considered armed and dangerous are wanted for questioning in the shooting death of 59-year-old Tim Blackburn. Now, Blackburn was found dead at a home in rural Boone County late last week. Police believe Stockstill and Scallion left Blackburn's truck near Grinders Ferry after stealing it. They are now searching for the two on foot in the area. If you have any information about these two or you see them, you are asked to call your local police. A little closer to home, Arkansas State Police sharing new information in the Pine Bluff shooting investigation they're leading following the violent weekend that played out in the city. In a clarification sent out last night, state police said the man originally named as the gunman in Sunday's shooting outside of Sahara Shriners Temple was actually someone who helped officers with first aid after another man who was allegedly holding a gun was shot by police. That man is in critical condition this afternoon. We are following this story and the investigation of both weekend shootings closely and will bring you the very latest as we learn more. Let's recap what we know about these two shootings. We know they happened at two separate locations that are not linked at this time. Now, 2 people are dead, another 13 are hurt. The first shooting happened outside of a party at the Sahara Shriners Temple early Sunday morning. That's the one state police are investigating after a Pine Bluff police officer fired their weapon. Now, the second happened near Martha Mitchell Expressway and University a little more than an hour later. Again, be sure to stay with THV11 and thv-at-noon.com for the very latest on these investigations. Governor Asa Hutchinson will give his weekly COVID update this afternoon at the state capitol. Now, this comes as COVID cases and hospitalizations continue to decline. That press conference is at 1:30 this afternoon. We will be there, and you can watch that conference live at thv11.com or on the THV11 YouTube channel. 142 new cases of the virus were reported yesterday. While we're used to seeing lower numbers on Monday, that jump is actually one of the lowest we have seen since June. And that decline continues to have a positive impact on our active cases. 5,952 people are still dealing with COVID-19 this afternoon. 460 of them are fighting it from a hospital bed. As for our deaths, 2 more were added to the state total. Well, nationally, the New York Times is reporting that the FDA is on the verge of allowing people to get different COVID-19 booster shots than their original COVID vaccinations. Now, the move is, of course, particular interest for people with Johnson & Johnson vaccine after one small study showed those people had higher immune responses when they got a second dose from the Moderna or Pfizer vaccines. Skylar Henry has the details.
The FDA could be set to approve the mix and match use of COVID-19 vaccines as booster shots.
I think what the FDA is going to say is they're going to make it easy. You can get a different booster if you want, but we're going to recommend staying with the same brand if you can.
The New York Times reports the move could come as soon as Wednesday, and an FDA spokesperson confirms the agency has the power to make the authorization if it feels it's needed.
In the real world, all these kind of combinations or extra boosters are already happening. So I think it's a matter of some urgency.
An FDA official hinted at the move during a hearing Friday, where an independent advisory committee approved a second dose for people with the Johnson & Johnson vaccine.
Dr. Marks, is it possible that there might be an EUA down the road, not necessarily right away, about the whole mix and match strategy?
I would say it's possible.
That's all I wanted to hear.
The FDA approval for booster shots comes as tensions are on the rise for a minority of Americans who are holding out from getting their first vaccine doses. Thousands protested in California Monday, saying kids should not be kicked out of the classroom because they're unvaccinated.
I am vaccinated, but I do think that people should have a choice on whether they get vaccinated or not, because the vaccine has been out for that long.
And in Chicago, the city has begun placing some police officers on unpaid leave for failing to update their vaccine status. Those officers could eventually be fired. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Silver Spring, Maryland.
$586 million. That's how much consumers have lost to fraud tied to the COVID-19 pandemic. Americans filed more than 269,000 fraud complaints from the start of 2020 through this month, according to the Federal Trade Commission. Now, the typical victim lost nearly $400 in schemes targeting online shoppers and travel. The losses were higher for older Americans. Manufacturers will soon have to start publicly reporting the amount of chemicals known as PFAs in common items like tape and nonstick pans. It's the first steps the Biden administration is taking to reduce their presence in drinking water. Known as forever chemicals, they don't break down in the environment and are linked to certain cancers. And you've heard of a bull market and a bear market, but what about a gorilla market? A 7-foot-tall statue of Harambe, the gorilla, has been placed near the New York Stock Exchange opposite the charging bull. And 10,000 bananas were added to the installation near the statues. The social networking company Sapien Network says it's all to highlight wealth disparity and how bananas Wall Street has become. Interesting. All right. Well, forget your wallet. No problem. It is handled. Amazon is rolling out scanners across the country that put payment right in the palm of your hand. Kit Doe shows us how it works.
Will you be paying with your palm today?
You've really got to hand it to Amazon. The retail behemoth has come up with a way to swap the swipe for a scan.
And it's going to ask you to hover your hand over it?
It's called Amazon One, a new contactless payment system. To sign up, customers first insert a credit card, then hold their palm over the camera. It scans lines, ridges, even the pattern of veins inside the hand. The whole process takes about a minute.
What'd you think?
I think it was really cool, very convenient form of payment, just quick and easy.
Customers like Liz Gonzalez in San Jose, California, say the technology could come in handy.
People like me, I'm very forgetful. I always forget my credit card or my watch, and now I don't need to remember to bring my palm.
If anyone can get this popular, it'll be Amazon.
Ian Schur with CNET says all signs indicate the new technology is safe and reliable. Amazon has already rolled out the palm scanners to more than 70 locations around the country, including mobile ticketing for a concert venue in Denver and a number of Whole Foods locations. But widespread usage could be a challenge.
The reality is that a lot of introducing new technology is convincing people to use it. And how much easier is it to use than just pulling out my credit card and paying that way?
Go ahead and hold your hand over it real quick.
In a convenience-based world, it's another tool at your fingertips. Kit Doe, CBS News, San Jose, California.
Very interesting. Well, Amazon has been pushing the convenience envelope for several years now with cashierless shops in several cities.